All right. Good to go there. Okay. All right, good evening, everybody. I'm BGM, or Bigger Gayer Magic, and tonight on Live Deck Building, we're going to be taking a look back at the Dragon, originally printed in 2016 Commander Precons. This thing is the Dragon Tribal Commander. It's the one of the most popular decks on EDH Rec, and we're revisiting the Dragon today because we just saw the pre-release of Dragonstorm Tarkir over on April 4th, about 3 days ago. So we just got a bunch of new Dragon cards to play with from the new set. So we're going to be taking a look at those today, hopefully, and we're just going to be talking about dragons. Dragons are probably behind Kranko, one of the most popular deck types in Commander. Let's pull up Dragonstorm. So Dragonstorm, I believe it's the red drop, and I think it just makes our dragons free. Yeah, this thing. Nope, we got a bunch of Dragonstorms. We want the big one. Well, actually, we did see this green one here. This is the Encroaching Dragonstorm. It's like Explosive Veggies on a little enchantment, except that this thing does the Explosive Veggies on an ETB trigger, and we can return this thing to our hand when a dragon enters the battlefield. It's cool. It's a ramp spell that we can keep casting over and over, and we have our first suggestion from Dodge Boy 426. He wants us to run that there Astral Dragon. So we're going to pull up Astral Dragon. Thank you, Dodge Boy, for the suggestion. Hey, Fantasy Animal Vegan. Good to see you. How are you doing? Thanks for stopping by on YouTube. No one watches me there, so thank you, Fantasy Animal Vegan. I appreciate it. Let's talk about... we want Astral Dragon. We don't want Astral Comfort. Yeah, Astral Dragon's what we... Holy snippity snap! This thing is $24. Why is this thing so crazy expensive, y'all? It's probably because of the Dragon set that just came out. This thing didn't used to be $24. This thing used to be quite affordable. But this 8-drop, which is now free if you got that 8-drop enchantment from Dragonstorm, enters, and you can have 2 little 3/3 dragon creatures when it enters, and they're copies of non-creature things, right? So, like, if you want to have 2 flying 3/3s, that's also like a Soul Ring and a Rhystic Study, your little Astral Dragon tokens can be that thing. It's also an effect on an ETB trigger. ETB effects are good in Dragon decks. Some of the new dragons have ETB triggers as well. Some of the Mythic Spirit Dragons we saw from Dragonstorm. Thank you, Fantasy Animal Vegan. You discovered me today. Did you see that silly video I made about Call the Coppercoats and Will the Mardu? I really like that. Thank you. Thank you so much, Fantasy Animal Vegan. I'm glad to have found you. Welcome to my little nerdy Magic the Gathering space. If you have any suggestions for the Dragon, put them on up in the chat. So let's pull up the Orb of Dragonkind. Orb of Dragonkind. It's like one of the Dragon Tribal rocks. It came out, I believe that's the Baldur's Gate expansion symbol. Same set as we saw that Astral Dragon a card ago, suggested by Dodge Boy. This thing is a 3-drop rock that adds red, and if the mana is spent on a dragon creature spell, you give it haste. And because dragons are big flying boys, giving them haste is a very significant keyword. This thing's pretty cool. It's also a common, and it's a $1.25. Yeah, it's cool. It's a good card. Alright, wow. Oh my god, Barry Jr., let's get sweaty about it. Let's get sweaty about it. Okay, so Miriam, I have strong feelings about Miriam because I lose to Miriam so often. My first problem with Miriam the Sentinel Worm here is the spelling of the word Miriam. Every time I try to look something up about this card, I'm like, M-Y, and it never comes up. Why do you need 2 eyes? Pick a vowel, Miriam, and stick to one of them. Anyway, this is Miriam the Sentinel Worm, and the rest of the frustrating nonsense about our friend Miriam here is that it's the 6-drop, 6/6 flying War 2, and it's a dragon doubling season. Whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield, you get a copy of it, except it's worse because the copy isn't legendary. So you can copy up your legendary dragons with this thing. I hate Miriam. I hate Miriam so much, but it is undeniably one of the best dragon cards, period, full stop. I love this. I hate this. I love hating this. That's what I like. I love hating on Miriam. I hate the way it's spelled. Thank you, Barry Jr., for the suggestion. The best dragon is a Frog Wizard. Frog Wizard. Is Frog Wizard the name of the card? Let's pull up Frog Wizard. Unfortunately, Frog Wizard. Is it a Bloomborough Frog Wizard? Fantasy Animal Vegan? Oh, hey, Chaotic Master. How's it going? If y'all want to check out a man with a powerful beard, please check out my friend Chaotic Master. He talks about Magic the Gathering sometimes. He's a cool guy. Chaotic Master, we need some suggestions for the Ur Dragon. We have only gotten a few. Oh, we got the Mad Wobbler. Hey, Mad Wobbler. Good to see you again. All right, Mad Wobbler wants us to run Corporeal Projection. Corporeal Projection. Corporeal Projection, not a card I'm familiar with, but we got ourselves a little 2-drop as its sorcery that says that target creature you control gains mirrored until end of turn. That's a fancy keyword that says when that creature attacks, you make a token copy of it to attack every opponent it could have attacked but didn't. So basically, mirrored means you're attacking everybody with a copy, except one person gets a real one. And the copies go away. You can also Wow, this thing's cool. This thing's cool as hell. Okay, so we can overload this thing for a total of 7 mana. We can give all our creatures Myriad, and then we can just alpha strike the entire commander pod off this thing. This is interesting. It's only $2.50. That's pretty cool. That's super interesting. I've never seen this thing before. Probably because it's from the Clue expansion. Well, that could be a reprint from the Clue expansion. I don't know. I ain't never seen this. This is an interesting sorcery. Thank you. Oh, Animal Vegan, you got back into it with Bloomborough? That's rad. Did you pick up any of the Bloomborough precons for chance? I know a lot of people are super jazzed about those. Hey Mario, how's it going? Seamus, I don't know if anyone said it, but Morophon the No, Seamus, we ain't seen Morophon yet. Morophon's rad. Morophon I think of when people try to force creature types that aren't supported in Commander. Oh, excuse me. Morophon is a legendary shape-shifting 7-drop, all generic mana. It's a 6/6. It is every creature type because of the Changeling, which makes it a dragon. When it enters, we choose dragon, because we're playing dragons tonight, and spells of the chosen type cost Wooburg less. It doesn't reduce generic mana, though. And other creatures we control, dragons, for an Ur Dragon deck, are going to be +1/+1. Morophon's cool. Morophon's $6. They were somewhat recently reprinted about a year or two ago, and it looks like Commander Masters. It's cool. I like Morophon. I have a friend who runs an Assassin's Slivers Doctor deck with Morophon at the helm, and it's cool. Morophon's a vibe. Yeah, no, dude. Chaotic Master, I just started. Bro, we just started. We can let's pull up Tiamat. So Tiamat, never really appealed to me. This thing's $40. Well, maybe it's because it's got the holofoil stamp. Anyway, Tiamat never really appealed to me. I always thought the Ur Dragon was the stronger choice of commanders, because when Tiamat hits the battlefield, you search your library for 5 dragons and you just pop them into your hand. Tiamat's seen a huge surge in price because of that 8-drop mono red enchantment from Tarkir Dragonstorm that just makes your dragons free. So if you're running Tiamat at the helm and you hit that enchantment, you can cast Tiamat, find your 5 dragons, shit them onto the battlefield for free with the Dragonstorm, and then, I guess, win the game, probably with Chair of the Peaks. I don't know. Tiamat's cool, but because of the support from Dragonstorm Tarkir, I feel like it's become more of a combo dragon deck than a dragon deck. Mando wants us to add Joda, because everybody loves to see that. Let's talk about Joda. I'm going to assume you mean the best 5-color creature in Commander, but I want you guys to be super careful before you pull out Joda, because this thing needs to be removed on site. Joda is absolutely ham. It's a legendary Cascade commander. It's 5 colors, so you can shove whatever the hell you want into Joda. And it says that legendary creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the amount of legendary creatures you got. But whenever you cast a legendary spell, that's not just a legendary creature. There's legendary spells of all types nowadays. So whenever you cast a legendary, Joda gets a Cascade trigger where you exile cards off the top until you hit a lesser mana value. You may cast it, or you have to cast it. Has to be legendary, and you may cast it. So it's giving you additional cast triggers on top. Joda's crazy. And because there is so many legendary dragons, Joda would fit right in here, and he'll just, even though he himself is not a dragon, he's going to give that pump, and he's going to double up our spells. It's going to be disgusting. Good choice. Very cool add-on. Don't forget vegetables, Teamer Ascendancy, and says that Teamer Ascendancy is vegetables. See, I would kind of say so, too. Oh, wait, this isn't Teamer Ascendancy. We want a Teamer Ascendancy. ASC? Temur Ascendancy. It's like a 3-drop enchantment. It says your creatures have haste. Again, we have big flying dragons, and if they can attack the turn they enter, that is a very significant effect. We got it on a 3-drop little enchantment. Enchantments are famously hard to remove. It looks like this thing even got a reprint in the Temur Precon. But this thing also says whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield, you may draw a card. Creature you control, power 4 or greater. That's going to be damn near everything if you're running big flying dragons. It sure as hell is going to be the Dragon, our commander tonight. Temur Ascendancy is rad. It's a low drop. It gives haste, and it gives card draw throughout a game. Really good card. Goes absolutely ham in a Miriam deck. Sarkhan Soul of Flame is Dodge Boy's second suggestion. Let's pull up Sarkhan Soul of Flame. Is that the blue one? No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's the Is It one, the one that's red and blue. It's a 3-drop. It's a 2/4. It says that your dragon spells cost 1 less, and whenever a dragon you control enters, you may have this thing become a copy of that dragon until end of turn, except its name is Sarkhan, and it's legendary in addition to its other types. Cool, so this thing can be copies of your legendaries. It makes your dragons cheaper. It's $5 for a little bit of ramp in these colors, but this thing is cost reduction. So it can generate you multiple mana throughout a turn if you're able to cast multiple dragons. It's a good time. It's a 5-drop. I'd definitely run it. Oh, hell yeah! And it got put into one of the precons. I'm not sure what precon, but it's in one of the precons. Good. I'm glad they reprinted this thing. This thing's rad. I think it was only in March of the Machines Aftermath until now. Progenitus. Yeah, we'll pull up Progenitus. Progenitus is just such a Magic the Gathering card. Progenitus is huge. It's a Hydra, or no, it's like an Avatar, and it's got protection from everything. It's like 10 mana pips. It's a Hydra Avatar, and if this thing would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, you reveal it, and you shuffle into its owner's library. It's cool. It's game-ending. It has protection from everything, which is as frustrating as it sounds. It's cool. Oh, hell, Progenitus is only $2. Damn. Them into being his sides as a shapeshifter. Okay, we're talking about Morophon, maybe? Hey, Gabe Pahar! Alright, if you guys want to get ganked on by Gabe, join the Bigger Gayer Discord. If he's playing his little guides deck, don't trust him. If Gabe's playing little guys, you get him first. Command Tower, maybe. Yeah, sure. Okay, Gabe. Alright, so... Alright, I see that we're trolling. Let's run Command Tower. Command Tower is a colorless land that lets us tap for any 1 mana in our commander's color identities. It enters untapped, and it's in every precon. Twin Flame Tyrant is our next suggestion. Twin Flame Tyrant is rad. It came out in Foundations, and this thing says if a source you control would deal damage, it deals twice that much damage instead. It's insane. It's a $30 200 dragon for 5 mana in Foundations. It's got some really, really cool art treatments as well in Foundations. Very cool card. Hope it comes down in price when it rotates out of Strangers. Not out of Strangers, at a Standard. That's what I meant to say. The Mad Wobbler wants us to run Brotherhood's End. I like Brotherhood's End. It came out in the Brothers War. It's a 3-drop sorcery, and sometimes it's a board wipe if the board is small, because this thing lets you destroy all artifacts of mana 3 or less, or you can have it deal 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker, and we're playing dragons. Our dragons can survive 3 damage easy, no problem, and if our opponents are running a bunch of little guy tokens, they're gonna die to Brotherhood's End. It's great. This rare sorcery is $5. Damn, this card's $5. That's kind of a bummer. I was kind of hoping it was less. Hey, Zombie Kidney, good to see you, bro. How are you? Let's talk about Silumgar. Silumgar, the Drifting Death. So, spoilers for the storyline of Dragonstorm Tarkir. Silumgar was one of the Dragon Lords of the factions of Tarkir, but he gets killed retroactively. If you didn't know, Dragonstorm, Tarkir Dragonstorm, the story begins with just a flashback of Narset in a bar talking about how the Dragon Lords die. They all die off screen. It kind of sucked, in my opinion. But anyway, here's Silumgar. It's a 6-drop 3/7 with flying and hexproof. And whenever a dragon you control attacks, creatures defending player control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely disgusting. It's going to keep wiping your opponent's board. It is a must-answer dragon, especially if we are going for a wide array of dragon. It's going to be almost like a pseudo board wipe every time we attack outright. It's going to be absolutely disgusting. But at least it's mercifully worded in that it's only the defending player. I see an Achroma's Will. Achroma's Will, suggesting by Barry Jr. over on Twitch. Achroma's Will is rad. And I really like the way that Achroma's Will is designed because it cares if you control your commander. And if you guys didn't know, we got a new cycle of cards from the Tarkir precons that are just like Achroma's Will, but not quite as good. They're called the Will of and then whatever clan they are, and they have 2 modes, but if you control your commander, you get to pick both. Achroma's Will is, hell yeah, this thing's only 14 bucks. This thing used to be like $30 at a time. This is a mono white instant for 4 mana, and it can just say that you win the game, right? Creatures you control gain flying, vigilance, and double strike until end of turn, or creatures you control gain lifelink and indestructible and protection from each color until end of turn. It's crazy. It's like an alpha strike card. You give everything vigilance, lifelink, indestructible, and double strike. Also flying. You're going to be ending the game. I feel like we don't quite need this in a dragon deck because our dragons are already so significant. But this thing is also a really important piece of protection that can maybe save your board. It's a rad card. It definitely makes any deck that it goes into a little bit better. Thank you, Barry, for the suggestion. Ooh, Adam Murray wants us to run Kindred Summons. Kindred Summons. Hey, y'all, I am BGM. Thank you, Red Bull Baby, for the follow. I am BGM, or Bigger Gare Magic, and on live deck building, we talk about whatever cards in relation to the commander that you want to put in the comments. So if you want to suggest a card for our dragon build, put it in the comments. If you see it over here, it'll be put into a Moxfield deck list with a dated stamp. If you want to see what other people are suggesting for the Ur Dragon after Dragon's Corrupt Tarkir just came out last weekend, please check out my Moxfield page. Let's talk about Kindred Summons. This is a 7-drop mono green sorcery, kind of, excuse me, not a sorcery, it's an instant. Choose a creature type. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creatures, where X is the number of creatures you already have. Put those cards onto the battlefield and shuffle the rest and reveal. Yeah, it's cool. So if we have 5 dragons, we're going to keep revealing cards until we hit 5 dragons. And we're going to shit them directly onto the battlefield. It's going to be absolutely ham in this deck. It's 7 mana, which is a concern, except not really, because we have so many 7-drops because we're in dragons. All our dragons cost so much mana. We're going to need a bunch of ramp just to support them, which is why we can run the 7-drop no problem. Dragon Tempest. Dragon Tempest, says Dodge Boy. Dragon Tempest. I am fucking floored. Okay, good. They did reprint this. I was so surprised. Okay, so they reprinted this in a pre-con, it looks like. I was floored that it wasn't in the main set. Dragon Tempest is a 2-drop mono red enchantment that was originally printed in one of the Dragons of Tarkir blocks. Excuse me, Dragon of Tarkir set a few years ago. And whenever a creature you control with flying enters, you just give it haste. And whenever a dragon you control enters, it deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of dragons you already got. This thing, if like in a combo-y dragon deck that cares about ETB triggers and is trying to do like a Terror of the Peaks or a Warstorm Surge kind of victory condition, this thing is a house. Even if they're not doing that combo-y nonsense, this thing's still a house because it's still a 2-drop red enchantment that just gives haste to all your flyers. This thing's insane. It got reprinted and it's already $7 for the reprint. I kind of wish they reprinted this and made it cheaper. Because like every dragon deck needs this card. Like they should have put it in the main set, in my opinion. Have we already looked into any of the nivs? No, Matt, we haven't talked about any of the nivs. Which niv do you want to suggest? You can run all of them in 5 colors. Vrondris. Vrondris. Vrondris? I'm not familiar with Vrondris. Is it like a Strixhaven thing? Oh, my geez. Okay, V-R-O-N. V-R-O-N. Are you Vrondris? Okay. Alright, why is this dragon hot? Okay, it's $1, it's 5 mana, 5/4, Dragon Barbarian. Whenever this thing is dealt damage, you may create a 5/4 red-green dragon spirit creature token with. When this creature deals damage, sacrifice it. Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, you may have Vrondris deal damage to itself. Okay, this thing looks like a dice rolling commander to me. It is a dragon, and it does make dragons. It does it when it takes damage. I'm sure okay, so all the ancient dragons that I believe came from the Baldur's Gate set that all force you to roll d20s when you connect and deal combat damage, those would be cool includes if we're running this. I like it. And it makes dragons. Shame those dragons gotta sack themselves when they connect, but you know what? Ain't so bad. Grave Shifter? What the heck is a Grave Shifter? That Mad Waddler wants us to run the Grave Shifter. I hope Grave Shifter is like something that becomes copies of stuff. Grave Shifter, okay, is a 4-drop black shapeshifter, and it is a dragon because it's got changeling. And when this thing enters the battlefield, you may return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. Well, it is a dragon. It got printed in one of the, I want to say, which of the precons had black from MH3? I want to say this was put in the Lurgoyf precon. I want to say this is from the Lurgoyf precon. This thing's nuts. If you look at the art, there's a very, I want to say, there's another card I forget the name of, but it looks just like this guy. This art is an homage to that more popular card. I like this thing. It is, in fact, a dragon because of the changeling. Pup Maestro, good to see you, dude. How are you? All right, let's pull up Savitri. Savitri, oh, that word Savitri, good mouthfeel on Savitri. Savitri Dragon Master is a 4-drop commander viable 4 loyalty planeswalker. It's got 3 abilities. The first one says, until your next turn, creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays 2 life for each of those creatures. That's nothing. Search your library for a dragon card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Okay. You know, a 4-drop, get it onto the battlefield, search your library for a dragon. For 4 mana, that's not bad, especially if we can make Savitri live. The last one says, destroy all non-dragon creatures. Hey, we got a Crux of Fate on it. That's cool. Yeah, there's Savitri. Savitri's $5. She's from D&D, I believe. Yeah, good vibes. I like Savitri. Thundermane Dragon. Thundermane Dragon. Thundermane Dragon, also from one of the Tarkir precons, is a 4-drop flying 4/4 in red, and you may look at the top card of your library and you may cast creature spells with power 4 greater from the top of your library. If you cast a creature spell this way, though, it gains haste. This card's just good, yo. Okay. Alright, this thing's really good. It lets you... It doesn't care that it's just dragons off the top. It's just creatures off the top. This is amazing. This is so good. I bet it was in the Teamer precon. I would run this. I'd run this in any creature-heavy deck. Honestly, it's a flying body. It's kind of low mana at 4. It flies, and it can give you card advantage. And if you cast a 4-drop off the top, you're going to get haste off this thing. This thing's really good. Okay, hell yeah. Jordan! Hey, Jordan, how's it going? Check out Crux... Oh my god, let's pull up Crux... Yeah, Crux of Fate is amazing. Crux of Fate is cool. It says that you can either destroy all dragons or destroy all not dragons. And in the Ur Dragon, we're probably going to pick not dragons. I would recommend not dragons. I like this thing. This thing is actually really silly just to run as like your standard board wipe in a deck that's running black, because dragons are one of the most popular creature types in all of Commander. There's dozens of Dragons decks and dozens of Dragons commanders. This one is one of the most built decks on EDH Rec, period, full stop. So just having a Crux of Fate in your deck can just shit on a Dragon player unexpectedly, and I kind of recommend it, if I'm being real with you. I like Crux of Fate. This is a $6 board wipe for a reason. It's real good. Alright. Sagu Wildling. Sagu Wildling. Oh, hell yeah! Alright, we finally got to some of the new Dragonstorm Tarkir cards. Sagu Wildling's got an adventure for 1 mana in green, and it says Omen. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand. That is perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. We gotta hit our land drops. This one can search one up for us. And this flying bad boy, it enters, it gains us 3 life, and also, this art's very cool. In the deck it goes. Lofty Beazle wants us to run the Kami War. The Kami War is that flip saga that turns into Okagachi, right? Yeah, here we go. This thing's complicated, everybody. Pay attention. We got a 6-mana saga with 3 steps. First one says, exile target non-land permanent your opponent's control. We got a little bit of room removal. Second step, return up to one other target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Then each opponent discards a card. Okay. And then we flip it into Okagachi, the Made Manifest. It's a 6/6 Dragon Spirit, and this thing is all colors. It's flying and tramply, and when it attacks, defending player chooses a non-land card in your graveyard, and we return that card to our hand, and then this thing gets +X/+O, where X is the CMC of that card. It's complicated. It does a little bit of removal. It does a little bit more removal, except lighter, because they're just putting it back in their hand and forcing a discard. But then it itself becomes a dragon. It's 6 mana. I personally find this card a little cumbersome, because your opponents can see the steps coming. They can look at it and see whether it's going to become Okagachi, and that it's going to become a dragon with a pump effect on attack trigger. And for those reasons, I find it cumbersome, but also the art goes so hard on both sides of this card. Alright, Gabe, let's look at that Scale Lord Reckoner. Scale Lord Reckoner is this thing. Alright, he's hungry. He's got a big open mouth. He's a 5-drop 4/6 flyer. He's a mono-white dragon, and whenever a dragon you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, destroy target non-land permanent that player controls. So if you have opponents who really want to touch your dragons and, I don't know, probably get rid of them, this thing will just say you get to blow up whatever the hell you want, non-land permanent, whenever they do that. And it's just becomes the target of a spell or ability. So your blowing up their thing will resolve before they touch your thing. Oh my god, this thing is absolutely nuts. At least it only affects dragons. Kalia of the Vast. Kalia of the Vast is an angel. It's a 4-drop in Mardu colors. It's a 2/2. It's a flyer, and whenever it attacks an opponent, you may put an angel, demon, or dragon from your hand onto the battlefield. Kalia is a crazy-ass deck. There are so many just surprise you're dead combos you can throw into a Kalia deck to just take your components out of the game. But Kalia in a dragon deck, I've never seen before. It works, because like as long as you got dragons in your hand, Kalia can keep shitting one out for free every turn. And the notable thing about the way that Kalia plops them onto the battlefield is they enter tapped and attacking. So it's like better than haste. Kalia is cool. I've never seen Kalia in an air dragon or like a 5-color dragon deck though. Matt says you'll touch my dragon. How has no one said Mox Jasper? Mox Jasper. No one said Mox Jasper, bro. We've not seen a lot of the Dragonstorm Tarkir cards, and we're running the live because Dragonstorm pre-release was last week, but we keep getting tried and true or dragon favorites. Here we got a Mox Jasper. It's a legendary 0-drop artifact. To tap it, add 1 mana of any color, activate only if you got a dragon. This card's brand new. It came out in Dragonstorm Tarkir. It is the Mox of the set. It's expensive. It's at $40 right now. It's cool. Alright, H, we saw Progenitus earlier. Hey, Oliver Vargas, good to see you. Jeweled Lotus. Alright, let's pull up that. Alright, well, Jeweled Lotus is banned in Commander. I'm sorry if you're hearing it first here. But we are going to pull up Sarkhan Unbroken. Sarkhan Unbroken. Sarkhan Unbroken is the 5-drop Teamer 4 Loyalty Planeswalker that came out in Dragons of Tarkir. This thing's got 3 abilities. The +1 says draw a card, then add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Or you can -2 to put a 4/4 dragon creature token with haste onto the battlefield. Or you can -8 our boy Sarkhan here, and we can search your library for any number of dragons and shit them directly onto the battlefield, and then shuffle our library. He's cool. How much are you? He's $20. God damn. Can you guys imagine that? Why the hell is this 5-drop Planeswalker $20? That is insane. Well, it's probably because that dragon set just came out. That's why all these dragons are fucking expensive now. We saw a Timeless Lotus is our next suggestion. We saw an Astral Dragon, which is like an 8-drop blue card that enters, makes 2 3/3s that are copies of non-creature permanents. And that card is shot up to $24 in the wake of Dragonstorm. Timeless Lotus, though, is a legendary 5-drop colorless thing. It enters the battlefield tapped. You tap it, you add 5 mana. Yeah, it's cool. It's a Lotus. It's 5 mana. It's a little bit of a bummer because it enters tapped. But this card's $20, so it has to be good if it's $20, right? I don't know. Have you guys ever played with this thing? I know I haven't. And it kind of screams that it needs to be removed to me. I don't know. I kind of feel like this thing ain't worth $20 in my personal opinion. But again, I haven't played it. And also it enters tapped, and that makes me real sad. Now, if my deck was able to untap it really easily, hell yeah, I'll run that thing all day. But if I'm not able to untap it, I don't know. Probably ain't for me. Ryusei, the Falling Star. Ryusei, the Falling Star, I believe is the OG Black Death Trigger Dragon. Nope, it's the OG Red Death Trigger Dragon. This 6-drop flying 5/5 says when it dies or is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, it deals 5 damage to each creature that ain't got flying. It's a tiny little blasphemous act-like effect. It's just a big, wide burn for the creatures on the ground. But it's not going to touch our creatures because we're running dragons, baby, and they all fly and they're all big anyway. So here's Ryusei. Ryusei's got really cool art. I always liked the Serpentine dragons from Kamigawa. This thing's really cool. The black one's really cool. Kakusho is really cool, too. Wait, Gunnar, is this your favorite dragon? Is this your favorite dragon, Gunnar? Ring of 3 Wishes. Gunnar, is Ryusei your favorite dragon? I want to know so I can weaponize that against you later in one of our Commander games on the Discord server. Ring of 3 Wishes. Ring of 3 Wishes. Thank you guys for the 1,300 likes. I'm sorry I haven't been paying attention to those. And thank you so much for the follow, Lofty Beazle. I appreciate it. I'm BGM or Bigger Gamer Magic. We're doing live deck building. If you want to see any of the cards we talked about so far, check out the Moxfield link in the profile on the link tree. This is Ring of 3 Wishes, suggested by Bracket. Or do you go... Or Gunnar, excuse me. Gunnar on this platform. Ring of 3 Wishes is a 5-drop colorless artifact, and it enters the battlefield with 3 whole wish counters on it. You can pay 5, remove a wish counter from it, and search your library for a card and put that card into your hand, and then shuffle your library. So this thing can give us a bunch of searches. Thank you, Nurgles Painter, for the follow. I appreciate it. So this thing can give us 3 searches, right? I don't love this card because it costs 5 to cast it. It costs 5 to activate it. You're gonna spend 20 mana. You're spending 20 mana to search your library 3 times. I guess, like, if it hangs out on the battlefield for a bunch of turns, I guess it could win you the game. I have one. I played it in an artifact deck that was built around untapping artifacts, and it wasn't for me. But Gunnar, you have the opportunity to beat my ass with it, and I welcome it. Genesis Ultimatum. Genesis Ultimatum. Speaking of people who beat my ass, Gabe Bahar. If you are ever playing Spell Table and you hear him say, they're just little guys, you're gonna die. Alright, let's talk about Genesis Ultimatum. Genesis Ultimatum is the Teamer Ultimatum. It's a sorcery, and this thing says look at the top 5 cards of your library and put any number of permanent cards from among them onto the battlefield and the rest into your hand, and then you exile Genesis Ultimatum. Yeah. So this thing can let us fill our hand and then shit out a ton of dragons for free. It's cool. It's in Teamer colors. It might be a little bit difficult for us to cast unless we find like a Chromatic Lantern or like, I don't know, the World Tree that makes all our lands able to tap for any color. The ultimatums, I kind of shy away from putting in 5-color decks unless I have Chromatic Lanterns and effects like that. This thing's cool though, and because we're running dragons, it can help us shit out oodles and boodles of dragons all at once. And I'm pretty sure it got a reprint. All the other ultimatums got a reprint. You like it because it's janky, Gunnar? And it's worth it if I get to use it at least once. Gunnar, I respect your 10 mana tutor, Gunnar. It's the Gruul little guy. It's the Gruul precon from Neon Genesis Kamigawa. Lozon Dragoness Legacy. Excuse me. Suggested by Barry, this 5-drop legendary Baldur's Gate Dragon Shaman flying 4/2 says that whenever you cast an adventure spell or a dragon spell, this thing deals damage equal to the spell's mana value to any target that isn't a commander. That includes players. This thing's crazy. So a friend of mine runs a kind of combo-y Tiamat deck, and whenever he gets Tiamat off, he searches for this thing, Terror of the Peaks, and Miriam, and whatever 2 other fucking things are making him hard that day. But this thing's cool. It can be a win con if you're plopping down a ton of dragons, because it's going to give you those triggers. Actually, wait, no, this one only cares about cast triggers, so if you're getting ETBs, it ain't going to work. Terror of the Peaks will work that way, though. Civic Saber? Lofty Beazle wants us to run that Civic Saber. Civic Saber is not a card I'm familiar with. Civic Saber, not a set I'm familiar with either. Equipped creature gets +1 and +0 for each of its colors. Okay, I think this is actually really good. This is really good. Let's talk about it. So, the Ur Dragon's 5 colors. This thing can give it +5/+0 for a mana investment of 2. So, this thing, we cast it for 1, we equip it for 1, we pop it on a creature, hopefully that creature's all 5 colors, gets +5/+0 permanently for as long as it's got the sword, and it stays there. That's great. That's great mana value off that thing. Or, that's great value for the mana of that thing. Cloth. Hey Vash, how's it going? Cloth is a great suggestion. Cloth, Unrivaled Ancient, is in Gruul colors, and this 7-drop flying $25 dragon, 4/4 flying hasty dragon. Whenever this thing attacks, add X mana in any combo of colors, where X has the total power of attacking creatures. Spend this mana only to cast spells. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Cloth is crazy. I have lost a bunch of games to different Cloth commander decks. Cloth is a great commander. I believe Cloth has a precon themselves. This card's amazing. Even if you're just this thing kind of is a even if you're not running it in a dragon deck, even if you just want to have a big creature, here you go. And it makes so much mana. It makes so much mana. And the mana stays throughout turns. It's disgusting. It's so good. Savage, yeah, Savage Ventmaw, yeah. So, Cloth is like a legendary version of a Savage Ventmaw with the clause that the mana doesn't fade. Savage Ventmaw, if you don't want to spend $25, is a great alternative. This 6-drop flying 4/4 makes 6 mana when it attacks, and it also doesn't fade. Oh shit, Savage Ventmaw doesn't fade either. My bad, Gunner. Sorry I missaid that. Yeah, this mana doesn't phase, and it just shits out 6 mana every time you attack. If you can get 1 attack off with your Savage Ventmaw, it paid for itself because it makes 6 mana. I love this thing. It's so good. I used to run it in an Animar Creature Storm build because it makes 6 mana on attack triggers and the mana doesn't leave you. It's so good. Also, it got a reprint in Foundations. Adam Murray wants us to run Fiery Emancipation because he wants us to deal triple damage. Fiery Emancipation is a 6-drop. This is the Enchanting Tales art from Eldraine we're looking at here. This version of this enchantment is $13, and it says if a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or a player, it deals triple that much damage. So a Fiery Emancipation at the right time will say that we need to do 1/3 of the amount of work to win a game that we normally would have had to do. It's great. It's $13 for a reason. I particularly really enjoy this art right here because it's got a big bearded man on that. It's got a big bearded man on it. You know what I mean. But why are you not in uniform? Why am I not in uniform? Alright, it's Monday. Are you talking about the shoulder pad or, like, taking off my shirt? Tovolar Dire Overlord. Yeah, you run it in your, werewolf deck. Tovolar is cool. The werewolf tribal players who, were running werewolf decks before it had the support, y'all the real ones. Old Gnawbone, oh my jeez, let's talk about Old Gnawbone. Old Gnawbone is rad. It is a very expensive dragon, and it's expensive because it makes all the mana you need to close out a game, because Old Gnawbone is a 7-drop legendary green flying 7/7 that whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens. So if you deal 5 damage, you're making 5 treasure tokens. If you deal 7 damage with, I don't know, a flying Old Gnawbone, you're making 7 creature tokens. If you have a fuck ton of dragons that are flying over and dealing a fuck ton of damage, you make a fuck ton of treasure tokens. It's absolutely nuts. And that's why it's 55 bucks. It's one of the best green creatures probably ever printed, if I'm being real. This guy came out in the D&D expansion. He is rad. He is hardcore. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry. The Discord link. Discord hates TikTok. So if you want to join the Bigger Gayer Discord server to play with gay nerds, you have to direct it to a browser from the link on TikTok. I'm sorry. There should be an option on TikTok to do that. Minion of the Mighty. Minion of the Mighty sounds like a Corvold to me. And of course it's not a Corvold, a Kobold. This is a 1-drop Kobold. It came out in D&D. It's a Menacey 0/1. Whenever this thing attacks, if you attacked with creatures with total power 6 or greater, you may put a dragon creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. So that's not going to be hard. If we have the Air Dragon on the battlefield, we meet this requirement. If we have probably any dragon on the battlefield, most of them hang out around 5 or 6 power. Yeah, this thing can just slam down creatures, right? You may put a dragon from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Absolutely nuts. It's an aggressive little 1-drop. Normally it comes down early game and it doesn't turn on until you have a board state, and then it's already too late. Because it just amplifies the amount of dragons you plop down. Leyline of the Guild Pack. Oh, Lofty Beazle! That's a great idea! Leyline of the Guild Pack came out in the Murders of Karlov Manor set. It's the 5-color leyline that does your fixing for you. This thing, it does the leyline thing where if it's in your opening hand, you reveal it and you shit it onto the battlefield. Each non-land permanent you control is all colors, and lands you control are every basic land type in addition to their other types, meaning they can tap for the different colors of mana. This thing is also kind of a flexible casting cost, right? Because it's got green. You can pay 4 green, or you can pay 4 different colors. It's kind of complicated. I like it. Yeah, it's cool. And it's $7. Not so bad. Jeskai Shrinekeeper. Jeskai Shrinekeeper. Jeskai Shrinekeeper. Oh, hell yeah, we got another new card! Oh, the answer is yes. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it. Keep gassing me up. I need the confidence. All right. Jeskai Shrinekeeper is a 5-drop. It's new from the Dragonstorm set that came out last weekend. It's a flying hasty 3/3, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you gain 1 life, you draw yourself a card. And also, isn't it the prettiest little feather dragon ever? It's cool. I like it. I like that it's new. I like that it's a very colorful dragon. I vibe with this. Also, I like that it does value-y things. Haste is a meaningful keyword on this thing. It's also budget at 40 cents. And there are, I think I have, yeah. Also, if you haven't seen the alternate art, I have one right here. You probably can't see it very well because of the keying. But it also has a really cool alternate art that I happen to have right here. Yeah, I love this card. I think it's good. I think it'd be cool in a Jeskai Creatures build too, because it does the value-y things. And it's a meaningful body with meaningful keywords. So thank you, the Mad Wobbler. I appreciate it. Alright, if we're going to be shitting things onto the battlefield for free, let's talk about a Quicksilver Amulet. Quicksilver Amulet is rad. I want to say it's a 4-drop. It's a 4-drop that lets you pay for, and you can just put a creature onto the battlefield from your hand. It's cool. Dragons are expensive. We are running a bunch of 6-drops. They usually start becoming impactful game pieces around 5 mana and up, and Quicksilver Amulet can get us to cheat them out onto the battlefield for 4 mana. I like Quicksilver Amulet. Quicksilver Amulet is only used to make people upset and cheat out large things. It's a fun card, though. Would recommend. Also, oh wait, it's $3. Man, I was hoping this was a bulk card. Alright. Court of Garenbrig. Court of Garenbrig. Court of Garenbrig. Is that the green one? Court of Garenbrig. It is the green one. Alright, this one's a little complicated. It's a 3-drop. It's from Eldraine. When it enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch, and at the beginning of your upkeep, distribute 2+1/+1 counters among up to 2 target creatures. If you're the Monarch, though, you double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. So this thing introduces Monarch into the game. It could be cool if you get this in the early game. It could get you an extra card at your end step because of the Monarch trigger. But if you have other things that care about +1/+1 counters, This thing, if you can keep the Monarch, and you're in Dragons, you're going to have flying blockers, you should be able to keep the Monarch. You should have, like, the most impactful creatures on the board in the Ur Dragon, I imagine. This thing's going to make it a little bit bigger. It's going to help you defend the Monarch. And then if you can plop some +1/+1 counters around, you can double them up every end step off this thing. This thing is crazy. That's why it's 25 bucks. I also really like the hedge here. Cool art. Very cool art. All right. Parzival. Leyline works great with Scion of Draco. The colorless. Yeah, let's pull up Scion of Draken. Parzival. Okay. I only know how to say your name, Parzival, because I read that Ready Player One book. Scion of Draco. Scion of Draco is a crazy card. Scion of Draco is $5. It's 13 mana. It's a 4/4. And it costs 2 less to cast for each other basic land type among lands you control. So we can get this thing down 6 mana. Wait. No, if we have every basic land type, it's going to cost 2. And each creature you control has vigilance if it's... Oh god, this thing. This thing is nuts. This thing feels a little bit like in a Chroma's Memorial, because it just shits out keywords in relation to colors. It's not as good as a Chroma's Memorial, but it's pretty good. Especially if there's lots of pips all over your dragons. And the legendary dragons, especially the ones from Tarkir, are usually 2 or 3 colors. And they'll all get 2 buffs at least off this thing. Chromatic Orrery. Chromatic Orrery is a rad card. It's a 7-drop, but it taps for like 5 mana. And it doesn't enter tapped, if I remember correctly. Chromatic Orrery... Oh god, can I not spell chromatic? I can't spell chromatic. There's an H in there, and I missed it. Chromatic Orrery. It's a big rock. It's like a 7-drop rock. It's legendary. It's $45. But it does fixing, right? Because it lets you spend mana as though it were mana of any color. It taps, it adds 5, and you can pay 3, and you can draw a card for each color among permanents you control. It's great in 5-color decks. It's more expensive every time we look at it. It came out in, I think, 2021. Yep, Corset 2021. It's really good. It fixes you. It makes a ton of mana. And it's only... If you have the mana to cast it, it's really only a 2-drop spell, because you can have it enter, and you can have it make 5 mana. It's great. It's so good. Defense of the Heart. Defense of the Heart. Defense of the Heart. Okay. This is... When I see Defense of the Heart, I know I'm about to lose. When I see Defense of the Heart, I know I'm about to lose, because this 3-drop enchantment says, during your upkeep, if one of your opponents has 3 or more creatures, you get to sacrifice this thing, and you get to pull out your 2 combo pieces and win the game on the spot, in my experience. I don't love this card because it lends itself to combo plays and ending the game as soon as this thing triggers. And for those reasons, I don't like it. I especially don't like it these days because we got that Exquisite Blood Mono Black 5-drop from Foundations. And now yeah, you could just run those 2 creatures because we have Veto for Sanguine Bond, and then we have the Bloodthirsty Conqueror for the other one. And this thing can shit them both onto the battlefield. For those reasons, I don't like it. I don't like it because it lends itself to combos. And that's just me personally. Parzival, thank you very much for the follow. Alright, Jordan wants us to run Conflux. I think Conflux is fun, right? This is the one that lets you search for a bunch of things. Conflux is an 8-mana sorcery. Search your library for a white card, a blue card, a black card, a red card, and a green card. You reveal them, and you put them into your hand, and then you shuffle your library. It's great. I love the art. I love the stamp in the text box. I just think this is a cool little piece of game design. I don't think it's particularly good. It feels like Tiamat to me, if I'm being real with you. I don't think this card is good, but I think this card is fun. Like, if it was like, I don't know, 7 mana, I think it would be even more playable. You need to have oodles and boodles of mana to make this card impactful. Because as soon as you resolve this thing, if you don't have the mana to do the things immediately, you're gonna lose. Because you can't, like, at least at my table, if I see you search your library for 5 cards and then pass, you gots to die. I'm sorry, like... But it is very fun. It's a very fun card, in my opinion. Thank you, Jordan. Gold Lust Triad. Gold Lust Triad. The Gold Lust Triad. Oh, is this a... Yeah, I opened one of these. This thing is so cool. I can't wait to put this thing in my treasure deck. I love this thing. I think it's great. This is a 5-drop, $9 dragon, and it's from one of the precons. I'm not sure which. I want to say the Just Game one. Please don't quote me, though. This thing's so cool. It's a 5-drop. It's a flying 4/3. It's got Myriad. So when it attacks, when it attacks with Myriad, you make a copy of it. For each player, it could attack, but didn't. So when you attack with it, everybody gets one. And when this thing deals combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token. So good. It's so good. I love this thing. It's good and it ramps you. It makes tokens. It makes 3 tokens if all your opponents in Commander are alive. I love this thing. This thing goes so hard. Who put this in here? The Mad Wobbler. Great suggestion, bro. Adam Murray, you said I respect that you don't pull out your combo pieces with that, Adam Murray. I appreciate you. I can get a little salty on live deck building. It's not really like on live deck building. I talk about whatever cards y'all want to put in the comments. Please don't get upset if I don't like your card, because even if I don't like your card, I'm gonna put it in the deck list anyway. If you want to see what other people are suggesting for the Dragon, please check out the Moxfield page. Alright, so we're gonna put a Cavern Horde Dragon. Cavern Horde Dragon. Cavern Horde Dragon. Cavern Horde Dragon. Okay, am I not spelling cavern right? Okay. C-A-V-E-R-N and then that little dash. I'm sorry, Cavern Horde Dragon's not coming up. Full steam ahead. Full steam ahead. Is this a Thunder Junction card? Of course it's a Thunder Junction card. Full steam ahead is a mono green 5-drop sorcery, and this thing says that until end of turn, each creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains trample, and this creature can't be blocked by more than one creature. So if you got something with Menace and you do this thing, it's just unblockable now. Wait, is it each creature? And then this creature, yeah. Never mind, it's all creatures can't be blocked by more than one creature. This is nuts. This is an overrun effect. It gives trample, it gives +2/+2. It's 40 cents. Okay, so as far as, when I say an overrun effect is something that usually makes your creatures a little bigger, usually plops down some fancy keywords like trample and double strike and other game-ending keywords. This thing's cool. I like this. It's an overrun that could potentially end the game, and it's only 40 cents, and it says that your creatures can't be blocked by more than one thing. This is a great budget overrun. This is very cool. I wish its name wasn't a meme, but I do like this. I think this is a good little budget card for 40 cents. Hell yeah. Vash wants us to run the Debtor's Knell. Debtor's Knell. Debtor's Knell is not a card I'm familiar with. Debtor's Knell. Oh, wait, no, I've seen this on live deck building before, but I've never seen it played. It's 7 mana. It's an Orzhov enchantment. It has my favorite frame in all of Magic, the hybrid mana frame, where one part of it's black, one part of it's white. And at the beginning of your upkeep, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under our control. Notable about Debtor's Knell, it doesn't have to be our graveyard. It can be anybody's graveyard. Cool, I like this thing. It's 7 mana. We've seen Quicksilver Amulet. We've seen a bunch of cards in this deck that just lets us plot permanents from our hand onto the battlefield, including the Dragon. Whenever one or more dragons you control attack, draw a card, and then you may put a permanent from your hand onto the battlefield. So we can just shit out this 7-drop enchantment from an Dragon trigger and cheat it out that way. Yeah, Parzival, Morophon and Joda are already in the deck. Yeah, Morophon and Joda go absolutely ham because Morophon keeps reducing mana, the colored pips, and Joda just keeps shitting out extra spells. C-A-V-E-R. Can you guys... Okay. Here, let me scroll up. Let me scroll up so you got... Here, let's... Whoop, okay. Maybe you guys can see that now. Okay, so Cavern Horde Dragon. Here we go. It's going to come up. Okay, hell yeah. All right, this card's amazing. It's from Lord of the Rings. It's 13 bucks. I'm glad this thing is 13 bucks. This thing, I feel like, used to be more expensive. When Lord of the Rings came out, I want to say this thing was hanging out over 20 bucks. And I'm glad that this thing is hanging around 13. I thought it would be more because of the Dragonstorm Tarkir. We saw that Astral Dragon get higher because of Dragonstorm. We've seen Tiamat get higher because of Dragonstorm. This thing's cool, though. It's 9 mana. It's a 6/6, but it costs X less, where X is the greatest number of artifacts and opponent controls. Flying Trample Haste. Whenever this thing deals combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token for each artifact that player controls. This thing creates silly amounts of treasures. It is so good, y'all. It is so, so good. I don't know why I had such a hard time spelling it earlier. My bad. Utvara Hellkite. The Utvara Hellkite is a 8 mana, 6/6 flyer. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, you make yourself a 6/6 flying dragon. This thing's a game-ending piece if your dragon deck cares about going wide. It makes all the dragons you need to end a game. Also, the dragons are big because they're 6/6s. This thing's great. This thing's seen a few reprints. It's still 13 bucks. Great, including a dragon deck. Yeah, Parzival, we pulled up Miriam. All right, so I'm gonna. All right, please, no one get upset that I'm about to shit on Miriam again for the second time this live. I'm sorry. Miriam's undeniably a great card, one of the best cards for a dragon deck. But I have lost to Miriam probably at least 100 times in my life. I am pretty sick of this card, and I'm gonna explain why now. First, why the fuck is it spelled like that? Miriam, you don't need 2 eyes. I don't care if it's a proper name from D&D. I don't like it, and it also makes it more difficult to look it up, because I don't think Mies from Nintendo, when I want to look up Miriam, I think MY. Anyway, past the naming thing. It's 6 mana for a 6/6 with flying in Ward 2. That's a great rate, but this thing is also Dragon Doubling Season, and whenever a non-token dragon enters the battlefield, even if it's legendary, you make a copy of it, except the copy is not legendary. And it only does it on ETBs. So if they have like 1 mana blank spells to make a dragon hit a battlefield again, they get another copy. It's disgusting. I hate Miriam. Miriam is undeniably amazing. You could fill a Miriam deck with nothing but ramps and ways to clone Miriam, and it would be an excellent deck. But anyway, I'm tired of Miriam. That's my soapbox. Thanks for listening, y'all. Scavenger's Regent. Scavenger Regent. I think this is the board wipe creature. No, Scavenger Regent. Oh, no, we got a new card. Okay. This thing, all right, so we got an X and 2 black pips for a sorcery omen. Each non-dragon creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. Oh, damn. So we got something similar to a Crux of Fate, except it's more like a Toxic Deluge that we ain't got to pay life for. We just got to pay a bunch of mana. This thing's cool. It also, when we cast it for the 4-drop side, it's a ward, discard a card, flying 4/4, and a dragon, which is a relevant type for us. This thing's cool. I like it a lot. I feel like we're mostly running it for that pseudo board wipe effect. I feel like that's where we're running this thing. All right, next. Thank you guys for the 2,200 likes. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Hellkite Charger. Hellkite Charger. Hellkite Charger. Hellkite Charger, not a card I'm familiar with. Oops. Hellkite Charger. Alright. Hellkite Charger is a 6-drop flying mono red $3 dragon. It's got haste. It's a 5/5. Whenever this thing attacks, you may pay 7 mana. If you do, you untap all attacking creatures, and after this phase, there's an additional combat phase. This thing's crazy. There are a bunch of combos with Hellkite Charger. Typically things that will untap creatures that produce mana. So that way you can keep paying the attack trigger on Hellkite Charger and just close out the game. This thing is so easy to go infinite combat with as long as you got the mana. It's a house. It's $3. It's a good card. It goes ham in dragon decks. Unfortunately, guys, that is all the time I have for tonight. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in my stream. For the last time tonight, I am Bigger Gayer Magic, and tonight on Live Deck Building, we took another look at the Dragon because of the Dragonstorm pre-release last weekend. We saw some cool new Dragonstorm cards. If you want to see any of the cards we looked at during this live, you can check out the dated deck list for April 7th, 2025 on my Moxfield page, and you can see all the viewer suggestions that we talked about tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out with